So it's finally time to switch out that old Sentinel companion and try out a Beast companion, but you still want that sweet pickup radius that Vacuum gives you. Well, don't worry, because the Fetch mod has you covered. It's the Beast equivalent of Vacuum, making sure your new Beast companion friend does all of the looting for you. I'm Tipsy, and today we'll be going over how to get Fetch so your new Beast companion can help you gather all the loot with ease. Before we dive into the usual farming methods, let's quickly go over the easiest way to actually get Fetch. So if you want to skip the grind entirely, you can buy Fetch with Platinum right now. Fetch costs around 2 to 5 Platinum on Warframe.market, which is basically nothing compared to grinding for over an hour just hoping for it to drop. So if you have 2 to 5 Platinum to spare, I honestly recommend just buying it from another player, as it saves time and effort and you can jump straight into using it. But if you don't have the Platinum, don't worry, I got you covered. Let's go over a quick and easy way to farm Platinum so you can buy Fetch without spending real money. To quickly gain Platinum, you will need access to Fisher missions and the Void mission Hepit to farm relics. First, head into the Hepit mission in the Void. This is a short capture mission and it's great for farming live relics. And every run guarantees a relic or Aya, and since it's a quick mission you can farm a bunch in no time, so just go ahead and farm a few missions so you have a few relics you can actually run. And once you have a few relics you can then start farming the Fisher missions with a public squad to open these newly acquired relics you just have gotten. Other players might get better prime drops, which means more chances to get something valuable, which you can sell for even more Platinum while doing this. And at the end of the mission, choose the best prime part that can sell for the most amount of Platinum. If you don't know, just choose whatever reward is the highest tier. And once you have gotten your prime parts, then you will have to go to Warframe.market and check the prices for the prime parts you have gotten. Most prime parts in Warframe should sell for more than 5 Platinum, so you should reach the amount you need to buy Fetch in no time. And once you have enough Plat, just trade another player and buy Fetch, and that is how easy it is to actually get Fetch. It shouldn't take you too long and you can probably do this in under an hour. And if you rather farm Fetch yourself, be ready for some RNG, as Fetch has a low drop chance and mainly drops from specific enemies in open world areas. The mod Fetch can be dropped from enemies in Cambion Drift on Deimos or from enemies in Obvalis on Venus. If you have played these areas a lot, you might already own a Fetch mod without realizing it, but if not, here's where to focus on. In Cambion Drift, where the Fetch mod can drop from these enemies shown here, but the drop rate isn't that great, so if you farm Isolation Vault, you will get an extra reward alongside a chance at getting Fetch, making it more worthwhile but still a low drop chance. Where in Obvalis, which is probably the best place to farm for the mod Fetch, here you will have to focus on 3 main areas which are also used for farming toroids. These areas are the Temple of Prophet, which is probably the best area for spawn density, then you have the Enrichment Labs and the Spaceport. Then all you have to do is go to one of these 3 areas and get your wanted level to max and keep killing enemies in these zones. Every now and then a hyena spawn will happen and this enemy has a higher chance of actually dropping the mod Fetch. So let's quickly go over how to farm Fetch so you know exactly what to do and how to do it. First we will need to head to Fortuna, where you can enter Obvalis, but this can also be done from the navigation menu. Just be sure to set your game on solo if you don't have a pre-made squad for farming. Alternatively, you could team up with others who need to farm toroids, as they are required for increasing the Vox Solaris standing before gaining access to Prophet Taker or Exploiter Orb. But then once you are inside Obvalis, you will just have to head to the Temple of Prophet, where the solar toroids can also be dropped. When you reach this main plaza, engage with the enemies but try and avoid killing the crewmans for now, as these enemies can drop a beacon which will summon reinforcements, increasing your wanted level on the planet. And once your wanted level is maxed out, as you can see on the little red icons next to your map, you can then start eliminating enemies, but try not to destroy the beacons, as that will lower your wanted level. And if you want a change of scenery, you can also head into the Temple of Prophet. Just take the elevator down and you can farm down there as well, as this area is a little bit more compact, making it easier to manage the enemies if you want to. And while farming, eventually a small drone with a hyena unit will spawn. Simply kill the hyena for a chance to obtain the mod Fetch. This enemy will appear periodically and each kill has a chance to drop Fetch. Additionally, there's a very low chance of obtaining some rare Beast Companion claw mods, such as the Shock Collar, the Flame Gland, the Frost Jaw and the Venom Teeth. A nice bonus if any of these actually drops while farming for it, as these are some pretty decent claw mods if you actually want to make your Beast Companion powerful. And one important thing to keep in mind is that the enemy level will increase the longer your wanted level remains active, so if enemies becomes too difficult to kill or just to survive becomes difficult, simply extract from Obvalis and re-enter to reset their levels and continue farming. And now you'll just have to keep doing this over and over until you get the mod Fetch. And that is basically everything you need to know about farming the fetch mod in the Temple of Profit as an example. And if you want to speed up the farm, here are some quality of life tips to help you out. The first tip is to use a loot frame, because certain frames increase the drop rates of enemies, such as Korra's Pilfering Strangledome, Necro's Disintegrate, and Hydroid's Pilfering Swarm. And a heads up, Necros has loot chance built in his ability, while Korra and Hydroid will need the mods Pilfering Strangledome and Pilfering Swarm for their loot bonus to actually proc and work. So I highly recommend using one of the 3 frames here to actually farm for the mod fetch. And a little tip for people who feel like the enemies are a little bit too high of a level at the beginning, you can actually start a low level bounty and then the enemies will start at around level 10 to 15 instead of level 30, just making the overall mission easier. Over time they will still level up, but this will keep the first 5 minutes under level 30 at least, which will make it easier. Just remember to do the bounty before extracting. And the next tip is gonna be farming on Steel Path, as enemies spawn more frequently and have higher drop rates. So overall it will make the farm faster, but if you are not used to Steel Path, this will also make the farming experience way harder and will probably not be worth it if you are not used to actually farming on Steel Path as of yet. So I only recommend doing this if you can actually farm Steel Path stuff efficiently. And the next tip is gonna be farming in a squad, as enemy spawn rates scale with the more players you are in the current squad, so playing with other players should speed up the farming experience, as more enemies equals more chances of getting fetch. So to summarize it, if you want to skip the RNG and just get fetched instantly, just farm some platinum and then buy it from another player on warframe.market, as this is the easiest and fastest way to actually obtain the mod fetch. But if you're okay with some grinding, the best place to farm fetch, in my opinion, is Obvalis. Here you can farm toroids while also having a chance to obtain the rare Beast Companion Claw mods, such as Shock Collar, Flame Gland, Frost Jaw, and the Venom Teeth. This means you will be farming both toroids and fetch, alongside with some valuable mods from the hyenas, which have a higher drop chance for the mod fetch. Another option is of course running the Isolation Vaults in the Cambion Drift. These will also reward you with certain mods and resources that could be useful if you're looking to farm for the Necromech. At the end of the day, it's up to you whether you want to farm fetch quickly and easily with platinum, or you want to grind for it in the open world areas. So just go ahead and use the method you feel like would be the best for you. Whether that is using platinum, farming platinum, using the open world methods, or just asking in the clan chat or asking a friend to help you out. This could be whatever you want, so just go ahead and use the method you want to. And that's it for the mod fetch and how to get it in Warframe. If this guide helped you out, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe for more Warframe guides. We also do have a Discord server where you can join a Warframe clan, so feel free to hop in there and become part of the community. Stay tuned, stay tipsy, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace out.